Cool. We'll get it rolling here this morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Today we're talking about changing our behaviors. And obviously, you need to change things in your life when you want to meet new goals and increase your business or just make your life better in general. We'll hand it over here to the infamous creature of habit. I know he gets kind of ingrained in his routines and behaviors at times, but he's obviously made some changes in his life over the years. I'll hand it over to Uncle Tim here, and he can start off by commenting on changing your behaviors.
I don't know how many people on this call thought their behaviors were going to change on Sunday when they woke up and TikTok wasn't working anymore. I know I see that look on my dad's face about, oh, I can't believe you do that. But, we hit it hard, Regina and I, on Saturday all day watching TikTok because we knew it was going to go out. And then Sunday, when it wasn't working anymore, we were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? It's not the same looking at Instagram and Facebook and, or we just thought, oh my God, what are we going to do with our behaviors are going to change. But luckily, and thank God, it was turned on Sunday afternoon and life's back to normal again. So now we're back into the definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Although we all need to change our behaviors somehow, some way, and for different reasons. I guess the big thing is why do you want to change your behavior right now? Do you want to change your behavior because you want more productivity? Do you want to change your behavior because you want more income this coming year than you had the previous year? Do you want to change your behavior because you want to improve your health? Or do you want to improve your mental health? Sometimes those are two different things. Do you want to improve your life with your family, have a better life with your family? What kind of behaviors do you need to change in order to make improvements? So I was thinking about this, and I thought, just in my opinion, that if you want to change your behavior, the first thing you got to change is your mindset. You got to have the mindset that you're willing to change your behavior and you're going to make the changes in order to change your behaviors. Then, the more I thought about it, I thought you have to have a plan too. What's your plan going to be in order to change your behavior? How are you going to do that? Are you going to schedule yourself so that you can do the activities you need to do to increase your income, to increase your productivity? Are you going to do the activities you need to do to improve your mental health, maybe by reading or listening to podcasts? Are you going to do the activities to increase your health by exercising or swimming or whatever you need to do, walking, you know? And are you going to increase your behavior activities by spending more time with your family or planning more vacations? What are you going to do to change these behaviors? So again, I thought you got to have the mindset and then you got to have the plan. But then the more I thought about it, I think that there's another aspect of it is you got to have massive accountability to change your behaviors because you can decide to change your behaviors. And a lot of people do at the beginning of the new year, I'm going to lose weight or I'm going to do this or I'm going to walk every day. But if you don't have massive accountability, it can fall off very quickly. So I wanted to try to understand why is it so hard? Why do we fail with when we want to change our behaviors? And what do we have to do to have this massive accountability? And I think back to several years ago when Brent was bound and determined he was going to lose 100 pounds. And Brent, can you tell us what your mindset was, what your plan was, and what your massive accountability was that enabled you to do that? Because I know you want to do it again because you gained 40 of it back. and you're determined again, I think, in your mind, to do it again. So tell us a little bit about what happened with your mindset, what your plan was, and what accountability did you put in place?
Yeah, I mean, you are absolutely 110% correct. It all starts with us making one decision. And that one decision is to change our mindset, because our mindset we are bombarded every single day, whether it's work related, personal related, whatever it is. We are bombarded all day with objections. And going back, and to be honest, I think it's been about 6 years ago, I made a choice to change my life, physically, mentally, and everything that comes along with it. Uh, since, as you all know, I got out of the Marine Corps back in 1992. In the Marine Corps, they are very, very good at keeping your mind set. They are the ones that keep us, the military, keep us in our lane, if you will, which goes back to Tim's point exactly: massive accountability. So somebody was always there with us and for us, beside us, in front of us, and in back of us, keeping us in our lane, keeping us accountable. When I got out of that accountability, I became a civilian. And one thing led to another. And of course, that accountability went away. And I thought, well, you know what? This is just the way life is. And objections came bombarding me in life. And for 20 years after that, I just chalked everything up to, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it's going to be. It's not going to change. I have to accept that until I made the decision for myself to better myself and get a different life for myself. And to be quite honest, I was sitting in Tim and Regina's living room. They invited a friend over by the name of Dr. Bixler. Dr. Bixler is an orthopedic surgeon, and he talked to Tim and I about a way of living. And that way of living was basically and it's a lifestyle. It's just a way of living / eating. From that day forward, I made the decision to lose the weight and become healthy. And it took just over almost 2 years until I reached that goal. And my mindset changed from that meeting forward, talking about accountability. I was going at least once a month to a seminar that he held to keep me accountable. Brooks, Tim, and I held each other accountable by having a board, if you will, of weight loss. And Tim and I had a bet. I still have that board. That was years ago. But it is 100% that mental decision that we make as a person. And it's literally very little changes. We cannot change everything at once. We have to change one little thing at a time, adapt that, and it becomes a habit. Brooks, you said it perfectly in the beginning of this. Tim is a creature of habit. But if he wants to change those habits, it's little by little by little by little, and eventually those habits change. And you're absolutely right. I met my goal. I was happy, and objections have come back into my life. I let those take over, if you will. and I got comfortable with life again. And I have now made the decision once again, just to make small changes, and get back to really where I was and where I want to be. But it all starts with that one decision.
Okay, thank you. So, Poppy, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Back in 1999, March, we lost $150,000 in that first quarter of 1999 of pending income, all disappeared when Balanced Care Corporation lost its funding for assisted living facilities across the country. We made a decision together to join the Mike Ferry organization and change our behaviors. And if you can talk a little bit about how you transformed from that moment on and how that changed your life by changing, like Brent said, small little things with your behavior.
Um, yeah, it really made a difference in my way of life and my thinking. And all this, came together. It was because we were paying for a product, but little did I know that it was accountability, it was leadership, it was all of the things that I wanted, but never took advantage of. We've been to so many seminars and you heard so many people talk, and it's such trite until you take it upon yourself to reflect on where you are and what your life means to you. Then you're ready for change. You know better than anybody. They used to call me Sierra Padre. My habits were I would go up to Jack on and work for part of the day, get done, go down to the bar and feel sorry for myself for losing that $150,000 with a bunch of other losers. And we'd all sit there and kibitz about, what happened to us and how sad it was, instead of getting up off our butt and doing something to change our life. All you guys today have hit on it when you said you have to change your habits. And part of changing your habits, you have to set some goals. And then you have to have the responsibility of accountability, as Brent said, to change those goals. It is difficult. Everybody gets in the same rut. I was going to say last week about having accountability. Everybody write down what they've done so far this week to yourself. You don't have to do it to me. And then right beside that, what you could have done or should have done to change things in your life. Because it all amounts to you making the decision to change. I mean, and I'm picking out a person, but I see a vast change in Morgan Tressler. She's changed the way she operates her business. Every one of us have to make those changes. I'll go over here to Paula and Sue. And you guys have probably the best treasure chest of anybody on this call, with all the developments you've had and put people into. If you work your database, you're going to be rich in the next 10 years. That's me, and that's my philosophy and my way of thinking of how you can operate differently. You have to decide that for yourself. You see, that's the whole point. Brent hit on it. All of a sudden, he got sick of himself. He got sick that he gained those 40 pounds. He wants to do something about it. Every one of us on this call can want to do something about changing their life. You get up every morning at 9 o'clock, have some coffee, watch some TV, Now I'm going to go to work. So you come to this office, you shuffle papers, you do this, you do that, but you don't do what you need to do. Now, everybody talks about prospecting. Um, One of the revelations in my life for this year is we have a great company. Nobody in the outside knows about us. Nobody on the outside knows how good we are. Each one of us have to market ourselves, and that comes through accountability. That comes from setting a goal, and it really comes from changing every habit in your life. As Tim asked me, as I changed mine, I totally believed that I was going to become successful again. And with that belief, there was nothing that was going to stop me from making those 30 calls a day that I made. Now, I did it my way, but there's 10 other ways to do this other than my way, and you can still be successful. The point is, do it. Don't sit there. Don't wish about it. Don't say, oh, that guy's just lucky. No, he's not. He's making his own luck, whoever he is. And you can make your own luck if you believe in yourself. That belief has to make you do things that you never did in your lifetime. And I can say this, I have honestly, in the last 20 years, come from stiff, stone, dead broke to be in a very nice, comfortable position in my life and never having to work again if I don't want to. But I love it, and I'm here because I can impart something to you guys that maybe will change your life and make a difference.
Thank you, Dad. So some of the changes that we made together back in 1999 in order to change our lives and change our behaviors were getting up a little earlier in the morning, exercising. We used to walk with our old cassette tape players and our earphones, and we both walk at the same time and listen to our Mike Ferry scripts that we could memorize them and internalize them so that we knew how to deliver a great presentation when we did our prospecting or we went on our appointments. One of the things that you did every day of your life since 1999 that you set at your desk is you had a daily check sheet and you kept track so that in your mind you knew whether or not you were working or not working, and you literally checked off every time you spoke to somebody and had a meaningful conversation. Not your attempts at how many people you tried to call, how many people you actually talked to. So you had a check sheet with that. The other thing that you did was you wrote down 3 or 4 or 5 affirmations every day. Dad, do you want to tell us what your affirmations were that you programmed your mind to change your behaviors?
I will get an appointment. I can't even remember them, Tim.
The master of
I'm the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. That's the one that really hit me at home because it says everything about you. It isn't about any of us on this call. It's all of us on this call. We all have things that we can control in our life. That makes us the master of our fate.
Yep.
And the captain of our soul is the point that you can lead yourself and delegate yourself to do the right thing. And the right thing is work correctly.
So besides the affirmations, we also worked on our skills. You know, from 1999 for 16 years, not only did we pay for the accountability to be coached, we attended at least 4 seminars a year that we were going to learn how to deliver the scripts, to memorize the scripts, to go to the seminars. We went to superstar retreats, and we went to the productivity retreats, and we went to the script classes and the management classes. We were doing that 4 times a year. We prospected more to have more meaningful conversations. And with doing those things and learning those activities and changing our behaviors, we got better. Our skills got better. And as our skills got better, guess what happened? Our production did go up and our income did go up by making those changes in our behavior. So I guess my question to everybody on this call, and hopefully the people that are going to listen to it after it's published, is what's one habit that you're committed to changing this year? So let's start with Brooks. What's one habit that you have that you're committed to changing this year in order to change your behavior and have a better 2025?
Well, you talked about it as part of your journey is, kind of changing your schedule and the way you do things. Obviously, I'm in a stage of life where things are starting to get busier and busier with kids in the afternoon. I'm busy with work during the day. And a part of keeping myself mentally sane and happy is working out and getting, good exercise in. So I've never been a big morning exercise person because it takes me a little while to get energized and going. But I need to start getting up a little earlier and get a workout in before work because by the end of the day, you're all beat up by the calls you make, the people you deal with, the things that happen in your life. And then after work, I have to deal with sports and practices and the kids' day and that sort of thing. So it's tough to squeeze that in late at night. So it's small changes of working around my schedule, getting up a little earlier and, being able to keep all the activities, both personal and work wise in, and it'll keep my production there too.
Good. Thank you. Matt Wall, is there a habit that you're committed to changing this year to increase your productivity and your income?
Oh, I don't know how committed I am, but I know I got to get up earlier. Same thing that Brooks said is like, at the end of the day, get time for maybe a short walk or something, but when are you gonna get time to get some exercising in? If you haven't known me a long time, I used to be a tall, skinny guy, and I'm not a tall, skinny guy anymore. I'm a fat, shrinking person, I think, at this point. I gotta get uh into a program of more exercise, and I think that starts with getting up earlier. And it's a pain, but I think it's time to make a commitment. I'm 51 years old. I can't be 300 pounds. It's going to kill me. So I
Okay.
think it's something I'm battling the demons. I have a devil on one shoulder, an angel on the other, and I I need a an angel with a whip on it maybe to get my ass up in the morning.
Yep. Well, part of getting up in the earlier in the morning and accomplishing some of these things requires a change of behavior of going to bed a little earlier too. And believe it or not, the more medical people you talk to and the doctors you talk to, sleep is important. Um, I didn't used to sleep a whole lot, and now I sleep a lot more. But Regina and I do go to bed earlier, so it's a behavior that we all need to think about. That if we're having trouble getting up earlier in the morning, go to bed a little earlier. You can still get the same amount of sleep and get up earlier. I see Steve Voorhees is on the call. Steve, is there any habits that you'd like to change in 2025 to change your behaviors and increase your productivity or something along those lines?
Absolutely. So I was just working on my schedule last night for the rest of the year of making a more of a commitment to things. And something Gene said this morning, or you said that your dad does is, I make the contacts, but they're not really meaningful. And I find myself like, oh, I got to do three or four more. I'll just call my buddy that I call every week. I'm not getting outside my comfort level. So I'm just making a commitment to make, you know, really making the contacts that I need to make every day. as opposed to just doing it because I'll feel better because I got the numbers in.
Yep. Good,
So,
good. Thanks
yeah.
for sharing that. Yep. How about Keith LaPrairie? If you can unmute yourself, are there any habits or changes that you would like to make in 2025 to change your behavior?
Well, at Thanksgiving this year, we went around and said what we were grateful for, and I had one word, and that was change. Um, in my business, I'm trying to be more effective. That's my change. Stop wasting time. Stop being distracted. If I'm at work, I'm working. If I'm not working at work, go home. Um, I put Facebook has a setting on your phone I didn't know about, but if you click on the app on your phone and you set a timer inside of Facebook, it'll say, this is, I don't know what it says exactly, but it says, something along the lines of, this is your off Facebook time, or this is your time you're not supposed to be on Facebook. Are you sure you want to look? And then one of the options is give me 15 minutes. And then in 15 minutes, it says, hey, time to get off of Facebook. So my change is effective. And yeah, I'm excited for the year. It's a great call today. Great
Yep.
words, great
Thank,
thoughts.
thank you for sharing that, Keith. How about you, Kong? Is there anything you'd like to change as far as behaviors go to thrive in 25?
Yeah, I wear this little Fitbit thing, and if you remember back in 23, 2 years ago already, that whole year I averaged 20,000 steps a day, every day for the whole year. And last year, I don't even think I cracked 10. So that's one of the things I wanted to get back to. And really, the only way I can do that to find time to do that is to get up earlier to exercise and to get up earlier. And by earlier, I mean right around 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. So I can get 2 hours in, is to go to bed earlier, right around 9:30. So it's going to put me on that kind of schedule. But to actually really accomplish it, I'm going to have to put the kids on that schedule too, so that they have to go to bed by 9, and not do things a little after that, and just get them to bed so they can be ready in the morning too. So that's my goal for this year.
It's a perfect example of creating a better life schedule for yourself and your family than ever before. That's a change that's going to make you smile. And those are the kind of changes that we profess here at the company to change your life for the better. Congratulations, Kong. That's a great one. And you just said it out loud to a number of people on this call. So you have a big accountability to live up to. And
Yeah.
that's the way it should be.
One of
We
the big
all
things,
need a little
yeah,
pressure put on ourselves.
one of the big things too is every night, Irma and I look at each other and we're like, what's for dinner? What's for dinner? That's like a big thing that's unknown every day last year. And this year, we just decided that Sunday was going to be our food prep day. So we're going to prep for our meals for the whole week, at least till Thursday, because we always go out Friday evening. But at least then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're not looking at each other. And then it takes like an hour and a half to get dinner ready when we can just reheat it and be done and go about our merry way.
Yep. So you pre-planned a little bit
Yeah.
to change your
Yeah.
behaviors, and that'll actually give you more time.
Yeah.
So, Kara, you've made some massive changes in behavior this year. You're no longer working from the office and working from home. How are you going to keep your mindset in the place it needs to be in order to work from a place that you're not used to doing that from? Tell us a little bit about how you're going to do that.
Well, I think it's kind of going back to, I had done that prior, okay? And then I had the office Um, I'm a schedule person. And just like Kong said, I think that planning is critical. So I'm a planner. And so every day, although I always say we're like palm trees, just like today, I wasn't on the call, other than via my phone coming to the Chambersburg office because I had a client call that I'm actually meeting. But typically, I'm very scheduled and my day starts out with, certain things that I do. One of which that I've implemented and I see several people on the call today are saying that's health related, is since October, I started to walk outside. And I mean, I can walk in the gym, have a gym membership, of course, and all of this, but the walking outside a lot of times by myself, and Ryan's sitting here beside me, it's like, no, I'm going to go by myself. I'm more creative if I am not talking, other than kind of to myself. Like it just opens up. If you're by yourself, for me, and you're walking and you're exercising, creative. So I do that. And I try to do it every morning unless my schedule changes, but I really can't go to bed at night unless I get that time in. Also, by 9 o'clock, I have to be at the office, even if the office is in my barn, which it is now. I have to be there because either there or here at the Chambersburg office. And I have to be dressed, but I've always been like that, really. I mean, if you're not dressed and somebody's like, can you come do this? You have to be there, you know, uh, just like, I mean, you just have to be there. So, but I'm more deliberate with the outside activity.
Good. Thank you for sharing. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Tressler, anything you'd like to add as far as change in behaviors? I know you already accomplish a tremendous amount of things in a day. It's unbelievable how scheduled you are. What kind of behaviors or tweaks could you make to your schedule in order to thrive in 25 a little more?
Well, I have to live by a calendar because I'm pre-planning. So one thing that I implemented, like Kong was talking about probably about a year ago, is I do a meal plan every week because that was the same thing in our house and it was like chaos. So implementing a meal plan, and since I work from home now, I also have tried to eat a lot healthier with eating my lunches at home. And then I try to do my afternoon appointments and then my kids' sports. And yeah, I go all day long. But the one thing for this year is, as Kara and a couple other people have said, is implementing more exercise. I kind of got off. I always have gone to the gym and got off of that last spring. And it's just one of those things that I really implemented back in, of trying to get moving, getting my body moving on a daily basis and making sure that I'm really good if I schedule it, and that if I make an appointment, I'm not good at scheduling it if I say like I'm gonna get on the Peloton every morning at 5:30 a.m. But if I schedule it with somebody or at a place of business, I stick to it. So I started at Orange Theory this year, and I've been going on a regular basis and then filling in with my ones at home.
Good. Congratulations. Dave White, is there anything like you'd like to add about some changes in behaviors that you and Patty are going to make in order to thrive in 25?
Well, we actually did start doing the meal plan to help avoid conversations that stretched a little bit and figuring out what to eat. And one of the things that I think I need to do personally is actually what was mentioned here earlier, is just get up a little earlier to exercise consistently, because I feel like I need to do that just to get my mindset pointed in the right direction in the morning and get things rolling.
Paul and Sue, is there any changes in behavior that you two are thinking about making in 25 to increase production, productivity, health? What kind of changes are you looking at making?
Well, we are not going to have a year like we had last year.
Okay.
Um,
You're committed to a successful year. I know that because we talked about that last week.
right. So we're going to be more structured. We are going to start exercising. We are going to, just like Poppy said, we're going to create a daily plan and stick to it. And we're going to walk the neighborhoods. That's the best way for us to reconnect with all of our people.
Yeah, we thought we live right here. The best thing we can do is do our exercise, knock on some doors and talk to some people.
Have plenty of cards with you when you walk those neighborhoods.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I know you're going to have a great 2025. You've overcome a lot of health issues, both of you, in 2024, and this is your year to make it a great one. So we're excited to watch it and watch you guys succeed in 2025. Bobby Stevens, let's end with you. What are you going to do, or what changes are you willing to make in 2025 to make it a great year? And it might not be business, it might be family. What changes are you looking to make?
I think the main thing is that a lot of people on this call have talked about exercising, and I did that up until about 2 years ago, and I backed off, and I need to get back on that wagon again.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, so
Good.
I'm all for that. But if I could back up just a little bit, what got me in real estate was my company had gone bankrupt, and I said, okay, where can I go that is a good business that I can break into? I've known a lot of people in that previous business, so I got into real estate, got into Jack Gone, and realized that hey, that was a lot of fun, but I wanted to be around people that I really enjoyed being with, and who were creative themselves, and who did a lot of work and a lot of business. And through my wife, who told me to go down to Tim Costello's office and join him, I did. And I still to this day use the presentation that you guys developed, what, 15, 16 years ago in my work. I always thought that was really a great presentation, and it was so easy to do. So exercise and continue working the contacts that I've had, and being around people that I think are really good at what they do.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
Yep. Dad, any final thoughts before we close the meeting for today?
Yeah, this has been a great meeting, and we're all friends on this call. And I really think it would be a great idea if each of us on this call would pick one person to be their accountability partner. And let's talk about a little goal, mini steps, whatever it is. If it's exercising, that's great. If it's making a call, that's great. Pick somebody out that's going to be your buddy and is going to encourage you to be better than what you already are. All of us are good, but we all strive to be the best. And in doing that, we need to have somebody accountable too. So please pick someone. Let's have a great call next week. And this was a good one.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Brooks. And let's go to work.
Let's go to work.